Deceiver of the Gods, as a title, obviously refers to the Norse god Loki, who betrays the gods in the mythology in Ragnarok. He is like the character that goes across the whole thing. So there's not exactly like one story that kind of travels through the entire album. It's more like a look at Loki as a character and kind of what he did and how he is as a character. For me, Norse mythology has been a big inspiration growing up, especially in my teens when I kind of started reading about it. There's a lot of stuff in there that really speaks to me, like in many ways, and has inspired my way of thinking and my way of life. Not to the point where I actually ride around on horses and chop people's heads off, but close. No, but I mean it is something very important. Although a lot of people think that I'm a religious man in that aspect, and I'm not. I'm a complete atheist actually. But I actually revere the Norse mythology as a great source of inspiration for my everyday life, as well as for like it's like a philosophy for me, you know, that I think appeals to me, and it's also great stories, really. I mean, you can choose to look at Norse mythology from different angles. Obviously, there's a very violent and brutal part with lots of blood, but there's also lots of humor in there. And lots of wisdom, lots of very almost, ancient Asian wisdom, kind of, really stuff of how your life can improve and how to relate to other people and stuff like that.
Well, the last, I think, 3 albums before this one, we somehow ended up, we didn't do like a theme album or a story behind the whole album, but we decided to focus a little bit on one special character for each album, and then base it very loosely around him, but not only, but mainly about him. And for this album, when we started writing this album, we were looking into what kind of character could we use for this one, and we came up with Loki. Of course, he's a kind of character too. He's a bit evil, but also kind. He's a sort of half brother to Thor or whatnot. And also the fact that these Thor movies and the Avengers was out gave him a bit more, gave the listener a more. A picture of him, because otherwise he's not the most well-known character. So we decided to go with him for this one, and that's about it,
He's a very cunning personality. He's very sly, and he has a knack for getting the gods out of trouble, because like he can talk himself out of almost anything. The only problem is that he's usually the cause of the problems that they get in the first place because of his nature. But I'd say he's not through and through evil. But of all the gods, I find him to be the most human god.